Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Tech Gamers World. In this video, we're going to be unboxing and reviewing the Honwally Nintendo Entertainment System wireless controllers. I am super excited to check these out as I've been in the market for these for a while. So as everybody knows, I am a huge lover of all things related to the Nintendo Entertainment System, whether it's the original Nintendo Entertainment System or the slightly newer NES Classic. It's all great and amazing fun to me. One of the things I hate is being limited by having a wired controller, so I thought I would purchase some wireless ones and check them out. Now I'm going to be using these wireless controllers for two different things. One, to play with my NES Classic, and two, to play NES games on my computer through emulation software. So I found one that fits best of both worlds, and that's the Honwally wireless controller for the Mini NES Classic Edition and PCs, Mac OS. So thought I would check these out. So let's get it started here. So this is the package it comes in. It is a cardboard package. It shows a little diagram here of a Nintendo Classic controller, and it says 2 sets in the package. On the side here is some features. I'll bring it a little closer so you can see. It's a little hard to read with the color they chose on the cardboard packaging. On the back is some information about the wireless controller. It includes the controllers, the adapter. It says SNES wireless adapter with wireless spelled wrong. There's not 3 S's in it, there's 2. So it's for the NES, SNES Classic Mini Game System, and it has a USB wireless adapter for a PC and a Mac. So that's super important, both of these. These are needed to work with the wireless controller. And it says some information here about startup. On the side here is the same thing, more relevant information. Basically, it says USB cable for charging only, not for pairing and wired control. So there is no wired control with these. It's all wireless. Please charge the wireless controller before use. Charging input power rating is DC 5 volts, 0.500 milliamps. Do not use this product in direct sunlight or in damp conditions. I wonder why you can't use it in direct sunlight. But, that's all right. Do not disassemble the controller for any reason, so as to not make the battery short circuit or even burned. Again, a little bit of typos there on the English, but I'm not sure why you would disassemble it anyway. The capacity of the battery is 250 milliamps, which takes 2 hours for a full charge. It can be used continuously for about 100 hours. Place the controller in a recyclable container when it's no use. Alrighty then. So that's pretty cool. If the battery rating and longevity time is what they say it is, 100 hours of use on a single charge is absolutely amazing for something like this. So let's go ahead and open it up. So inside there are 2 separate packages for the NES wireless controller. Just going to put that off to the side. We'll take a look at the packing information here. So the NES and USB wireless controller user manual. There's a lot of information here. So the first one shows details, description, relevant information about the controller and the adapters, the fast installation and startup, the change the input mode of the USB adapter. So it's obviously different kind of modes here. We'll have to take a look at that. Controller working states shows you what happens when you're connected and what the controllers will do. Low battery and charging reminders. The red light blinks. Turbo function setting. Pressing the A and B buttons of the wireless controller can be set with the turbo function. In the game, if the buttons have turbo functions, you can keep pressing it to make it faster. I don't ever use turbo functions. I prefer to play the games as they were designed. So that's a functionality I will probably never use, but it does look like this one supports it. Return the NES games menu by controller. Press start and select at the same time to exit the games. That's pretty cool. Pairing controller with USB adapter, and then packaging contents and more attention information. On the back is blank. So we will put the instruction manual off to the side, and we have a thank you letter from the vendor. Thank you for purchasing our wireless controller. As of 2020, Nintendo has ceased production of the NES Classic Mini and SNES Classic Mini gaming consoles. It is highly likely that the consoles available in the market are from third-party imitation products. That is true. There are a ton of them. Among these imitation NES Classic Mini and SNES Classic Mini gaming consoles, there are multiple chip designs. Since these imitation machines do not strictly adhere to Nintendo's Wii Interface Protocol standards, there is a possibility that the wireless controller you purchase may not be compatible with your gaming console, causing operational issues. The common issues are all listed below. You can confirm the functionality of our controller by pairing it with a PC using a USB dongle. If you encounter any of the above issues after purchase, please go to Amazon and use the return and get a refund option directly. There's no need for an exchange because so far no third-party wireless controller can effectively work with imitation consoles. So basically what that says is, and it's actually very accurate, since the Nintendo ceased production of the NES Classic and SNES Classic, there have been a number of bootleg devices available on the internet. You typically see them come preloaded with 100, 200 games, something like that. Really what they are is a little mini computer with storage, processor, compute, all inside of a case that's designed to resemble the NES or SNES with enough modifications as to not get them flagged for licensing violations, stuff like that. Most of these are bootleg, and I do recommend staying away from them. So let's get it started now and take out the controllers and look at everything that comes with them. So let's start with the first one here. This is the NES wireless controller, as we discussed. Take it out of the packaging. There we have it. And let's take a look at the USB cable. Here is the adapter for the NES Mini, which I will show you. And here is the USB dongle. So let's talk a little bit here about how these devices actually work. Wireless devices connect two devices they're in use with through just what it says, wireless technology. Inside is a wireless chip that allows you to wirelessly connect to any device. I know I said the word wirelessly a lot, but that's super important. These do not have a wired connection. You have to use wireless. So how it works is you have these adapters. Now, why do you need these adapters? Why can't I just connect it to a Xbox or a Nintendo or a PC through Bluetooth? Well, Bluetooth technology is great, but it is notoriously slow. And when you're gaming, that near instant connection is what counts. So you want that to be as fast and low latency as possible. So the way they've gotten around that is by having these USB dongles. These use the wireless 2.4 gigahertz frequency to make a near line instantaneous connection to the device you have it plugged into. That's why they don't use Bluetooth. You see it all the time when you're in your car, for example, and you watch a movie or a show or a YouTube video while your phone's connected to your car's Bluetooth. The audio is not in sync with what you're seeing on the screen. So that's why you need something like this, because that same principle applies to this kind of technology. So let me show you here how to connect this device to a NES Classic. So again, the cable is not used to connect it to the device. The cable is mainly used for charging. You have your USB-A side, which is the big side, and the mini USB side. This side connects to the device. This side connects to what you're going to charge it with. Now again, like most devices these days, they don't include the actual charging adapter. They want you to use the one you have. So you can charge this through an iPhone, an iPad, an Android phone, or an Android tablet charger that has a USB-A plug. That is this rectangular looking guy that's taller than it is wider. That's called USB-A. Alternatively, you can just plug this into a computer to charge. It'll take a little longer, but it'll still charge. The same thing for if you have your Nintendo Switch dock, you can plug it into a dock. It will charge these. But when you don't have the power brick that they're called, it will take a little longer. So just keep that in mind. So let me show you here how to connect this to let's use a NES Classic. So this is a Nintendo Entertainment System Classic. This one came out a couple of years ago and has about 20 or so of the more popular games on it. This is made by Nintendo, as you can see by the Nintendo licensing on the bottom. This is a model CLV-001. This is a custom-made Nintendo by Nintendo that is smaller and has preloaded with games. So how this device works is you have to plug in the adapter into the adapter on here. So what you do is you take this end, just plug it in just like that. And then what you need to do to use the wireless controller with it is plug the USB dongle into here. So what this does is it takes the USB-A dongle connection, puts it into here, takes this, puts it into the proprietary port that the NES Classic uses. The same thing goes if you have a Super Nintendo Classic. The same principle applies. The same adapter fits in. Now, one thing I don't like is very loose. As you can see, there's no like locking tips or anything for it. So that's something that I wish there would have been, maybe just on the top, to keep it from falling out or someone hitting it. But, you know, that's fine. So let's go ahead now and open up the other one here. So let's go ahead and put this just like this, and we'll put the cable here. This is exactly the same thing. So you have two. So we'll put the controller here. This is the USB cable. You get two of everything. The USB dongle and the adapter for the NES Classic. So let me show you what it looks like when you plug both in so you can play both. So what I recommend you do, as to not get yourself confused with which one's player one, which one's player two, for example, it makes sense to keep your dongles always separated. So these for this, these for this. Maybe take a permanent marker, mark them for it if you want that way. And, you know, if you're a novice at connecting these kind of things, just do one at a time. So plug this one in here, plug this one in just like that, power it on, pair your device. And then do the same thing for this one. Power it on, you know, plug it in, pair the device, and you should be good to go. Pair each one, you'll be good to play. So I'm going to go ahead now and try out this controller with the NES Classic. So let's do that now. We'll put this off here and get it all set up.
Okay, so we are all connected up. I went ahead and connected the included NES Classic adapter to the NES Classic and plugged in the included USB 2.0 gigahertz dongle into the adapter, and we are all connected up. We've got the wireless controller here. We are ready to go. So according to the instructions, all we have to do to pair it is just press start. There we go. So we are connected. That says to me that this actually paired itself. So as you can see, the little red light here indicates that it is paired. Link indicate, red LED. So that's good. So let's try this out here. So moving right, we moving left, up, and down. Look how fluid and easy that is. It is near instantaneous. Can't even tell the difference between a wired connection. So this is super awesome. I no longer have to use wired cables for my NES Classic. And I can connect this to my PC through just the USB dongle to use with Microsoft Windows 10 or 11 or Mac OS X, which is totally awesome. So back to trying this out here. Let's try out the A and B buttons. So to do that, we'll go up here, go over to display, and we'll change the display from 4.3 aspect ratio to CRT filter. Did it, that worked. Let's go ahead back. A, let's B, to exit. Awesome. So let's try out the select and start buttons. And I know no other better way to do that than to do it through Super Mario Brothers and a classic, iconic game. So let's go ahead here and load it up. Game is loaded. Now if we press select, it should change to 2-player. So select, awesome. And if we press select again, back to 1-player, let's press start to start up the game. Now, if I press select and start together according to the instructions, this should exit me back to the main menu of the NES Classic. Awesome, look at that. That's actually a feature that is not built in to the NES Classic that I'm aware of, at least. So that is totally cool. I no longer have to get up to press that reset button. So I hope everyone enjoyed this video. To recap here, we unboxed and opened up the NES wireless controllers here, connected them up to the NES Classic system through the included dongles, and it is working awesome. I no longer have to deal with wired connections to an amazing video game system. I hope everyone enjoyed this video. As always, if there's anything you would like to see, please drop a comment down below and I will do my best to make it happen. Same as if you have any questions, I would be honored to help you out if you need it. Please click that like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to have new and exciting video game content coming soon. Thanks a lot, everybody, and I will see you around. Keep on gaming.